Without further ado, it is really my pleasure, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I grew up really idolizing this man as a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles from 1977 to 1986, a Pro Bowler who also played in the Pro Bowl. He's in the Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame, as he should. He should be in the NFL Hall of Fame someday. Also holds the record for the longest touchdown pass in NFL history. The longest touchdown pass, 99 yards. Phenomenal. Without further ado, let me bring to the stage Ron Jaworski, otherwise known as Jaws.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. I love that jersey, man. I like that.
Throwback.
Love that green, Kelly Green.
We're going back to it this year.
Absolutely. I love it. Nice sign, dude. I signed that already. That's good. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing today? How can you not be? I am certainly honored to be here with the World Travel Symposium, being asked to say a few words here this afternoon. And I know I'm probably the last person that you'll hear today, so I would be keeping you from that 80-degree day out there and a cold beer. So I promise you I won't go too long. I don't want you to start saying, that Jaws kept us in there too long. But it really is my pleasure to be here. And I'm trying to get a little feel for the crowd. How many Dallas fans are in here? You just made my day. All right, so I'll be sure. I know I met a Viking fan. That's Skol. I met a Youngstown State University fan. There's a travel for Youngstown State University. It's my alma mater, and Jim Tressel and Paul McFadden and the folks out of Youngstown. How about Washington fans? Not that far away. God, you're singing my song. All right. New York fans. Oh, how'd you get through security? All right. But I really enjoyed talking, and that's why they call me Jaws, in case some of you don't know. And not the movie either. I know there was some question if I was the guy in the movie. No, I wasn't. But I'll tell you a funny story. Why? How did I get the nickname Jaws, right? Everyone say Jaws. So Doug Collins was a basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers, and also later on a coach of the Sixers, was my next-door neighbor. And the movie Jaws was playing, and he gave me the nickname Jaws. So everyone thought that he gave me the nickname because of the movie. So some media people asked Doug why he gave me the nickname Jaws. He said, have you ever been around Ron? His jaws just keep on flapping, so I gave him the nickname Jaws. So that's how I got the name. And actually the Jaws name, maybe because I do talk a lot, led me to a 28-year career at ESPN, so I shouldn't complain too much about being able to talk a lot, so it's always good. But there's probably a side of me that many of you don't know, and you just heard that I own and operate 7 golf courses in the area, and I should say my wife does an amazing job, and my son do an amazing job. I just kind of schmooze now. I'm very fortunate to have a tremendous wife that loves to work, a great son that loves to work. I also have 2 daughters, but they're in other businesses, not in the golf business. But it's kind of funny. I had a 17-year NFL career, a 28-year ESPN career, still work locally for NBC. And I take great pride in what I had success as a business person. And having my wife involved, my son involved in the business. And, but I didn't get started in business until I was 39. I was playing football. Also, here I am at 39 years old. I'm buying golf courses. And if I didn't have my wife with me, my son with me, I don't think I would have been successful. I really had people I could count on that I could trust. And some of the things I'll talk about are about trust, because if you're going to be successful, you better trust the people you line up and play with. So I take a lot of pride in my business side as much as I take great pride as a player of 17 years. Every time I say 17 years, there's one thought that resonates with me. Most people aren't aware of it. The NFL average career, this will shock some people. So if you have young kids that you think have great potential to get to the NFL, the average NFL career is 3.3 years. Think of that. 3.3 years. So as you watch these young men play the game, by the time they're 25, see ya, You know, the NFL's got the nice feeder system of college players coming in, younger, healthier, and cheaper. Jalen Hurts could probably tell you that. So you got to be very, very careful. If you may get what you wish for. And all of a sudden you're in the NFL, which is great, and it does pay well, and I agree with all those things, but it's not a long career. So as much as I'm proud of that 17-year career that I had, I'm really, really proud of what I accomplished as a business person afterwards. And maybe some things I like to throw out there. And I do have notes, but man, I'm all over the place. I'm like a scrambling quarterback, man. I'm gonna adjust as the game goes on and make things happen. But what I learned from coaches, and what I love about this room is filled with leaders. And if you're going to be successful, it really is about leadership. Not only leading other people, but leading yourself. And I was very fortunate to play 17 years. I just said where the average career is 3.3 years. But the people I played for that taught me how to be successful, coached me hard, coached me to be disciplined, coached me to be focused. They're the reasons that I became successful in broadcasting at ESPN for 28 years. Monday Night Football, when that light goes on, I'm in 22 million houses. You go, oh my, I hope my makeup looks good. Yeah. And then a business career afterwards. And coaches, hey, I would bitch and moan many, many nights about my coaches. But man, do I praise the Lord now for those coaches now, because success that I've had. And of those coaches I had, I played 4 years with the LA Rams, where I started my career, 10 years in Philadelphia, 2 years with the Miami Dolphins, and a year in Kansas City. So I've been around the country and played for great coaches. And I'll start with what I've learned from those coaches. When I was drafted in 1973 by the LA Rams out of Youngstown State University, 37th pick in the draft, the first meeting I had was with Coach Chuck Knox. Chuck Knox is from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. He's just a salt-of-the-earth kind of guy, fantastic coach, great person, but just the kind of guy you love to sit and talk and have a beer with. That's the kind of guy I was. But I'll never forget sitting in his office. Here I am, a 21-year-old kid just drafted by the LA Rams. I go from to Tinseltown, from a steel town of Youngstown to Tinseltown, LA. I sit in his chair, and I can still remember like it was yesterday. Him and I go looking mano a mano in each other's eyes. He says, Jaws, each team in the NFL has 2 quarterbacks. At that time, there were 28 NFL teams. Now there are 32. There are 56 jobs available. I went, holy shit. There aren't many. 56 jobs in the whole world are available. That's right. Because that's why you have to make a commitment. And that word just resonated with me, and it still does. And when I bring people into my company, I talk about commitment. And I'm not talking about the commitment, boy, I'm working hard today, I'm going to work hard tomorrow, I'm going to work hard for 8 hours. If you want to be successful, you have to make a commitment to be successful. And it's not easy. It's not easy. You people here at the World Travel Symposium, I know you've made that commitment to be successful. And that's what it takes. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's the commitment it takes to be successful. And I learned that from Chuck Knox and all these coaches I played for. And by the way, those coaches I played for won close to 1,000 games in the National Football League. Think of that. It's hard to win a single game sometimes. They won close to 1,000 games. Very successful coaches that I played for. And I learned lessons of life from them. So all of a sudden I leave Los Angeles. I come to Philadelphia, and Dick Vermeil is here. Man, and Dick was awesome. Hall of Fame coach. I was there in Canton a year ago when he was presenting the Hall of Fame award. A Hall of Famer as a head coach. What was his backbone? What did he teach us? Hard work and discipline. Hard work and discipline. Now the hard work, I understand. I went to school in Youngstown, Ohio. It was a blue-collar town. I grew up outside of Buffalo in Lackawanna, where Bethlehem Steel was the main employer. I knew I did not want to work at Bethlehem Steel. I did not. My dad put me there one summer. I said, I can't wait to get the hell out of this place and get my degree and move on with my life. But he taught me a lesson, He put me in that working at Bethlehem Steel and realized what hard work it was. Get your education. Get your education. Hard work, and I got it. And discipline. And every person in this room is successful for that reason. Discipline. You have to have a discipline to your life and how you become successful. And believe in the leadership. The discipline to believe in the leadership. And you are the leaders, and you have to get people to believe in you. And I'll give you a real-life example. The Eagles are playing the Bengals in Cincinnati. It's third down, 6 or 7 yards to go. We're at about the 40-yard line going in. And we didn't have the complex, sophisticated Motorola sound systems where the quarterback communicates with the coach at the sideline, all those things that you now see on TV. We had the old signal system, hand signals and tap the helmet and all that. So I looked at Coach Vermeil on the sideline, but I don't want to fall off the stage, about a yard outside the huddle. And I looked at Coach, he called the play. Quick 181 backs flat. I went, oh, crap, I don't like it. I don't like the call. I took one step in the huddle. I said, Stan, Jerry, my 2 offensive tackles, cut those defense down. We got a quick pass here. We got a chance for a big play. I know what you're thinking. Well, why did you question the call? Why did you go, oh, I don't like it? And I'll be honest with you, for a couple fleeting seconds, I lost my discipline. I lost my discipline and belief in the coach. But I didn't realize he had worked all week studying game tape, preparation, preparing for that moment in the game, critical time in the game to call the right play, to set me up for success. And you have to have that discipline to believe in the leadership that they will set you up for success. Well, we went to 181 backs flat, took a 3-step drop, ball came out in 1.5 seconds. Harold Carmichael, a Hall of Fame wide receiver, caught the pass, broke a tackle with 19 yards, first down. Because we believed in the leadership. And for 1-2 seconds, I doubted it, but man, I'm glad I caught myself. But that's what it takes to be successful. Believe in the leadership, that the leadership is there to set you up for success. And you as leaders have to set other people up for success. That's what Dick Vermeil taught me. Hard work and discipline. After 10 years, time to move on, folks. In the NFL, it's not a long career, as I said. I go to Miami with the great Don Shula, the winningest coach. Think of that. Think of the NFL, how hard it is to win a game. Don Shula is the winningest coach in the National Football League in history. So that's why I wanted to go there. I wanted to see what made him tick. Why was he so good at what he was doing? And I actually had offers. I was a free agent when I left Philadelphia to go to Chicago, go to San Diego. I decided, I got to go down there and find out about this Shula guy, you know. I got to figure this guy out. Why is he so damn good? Why is he winning all these games? Winningest coach in history. After 2 years of backing up Dan Marino, playing with Mark Duper and John Offerdahl, Mark Clayton, great Hall of Fame players and all-pro players, it was really simple. Every single day, Don Shula, who went to church every morning, by the way, sometimes you wouldn't know it by some of the things he said, would get up in front of the team every morning and address the team, just like this at the podium, and talk about teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. If you don't play as a team, you have no chance for success. Football is the consummate team game. As I found out later in life, business is the consummate team game. And if you don't have people pulling together as a team, you have no shot for success. So no matter how good our players were, if Don Shula didn't express teamwork every single morning at that meeting, every single practice on the field, he'd never be the winningest coach in the history of the NFL. It's pretty simple. Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. And I'm sure you talk about that all the time in your meetings. You've got to surround yourself with talent, but as well as lead that talent and have that talent work together to achieve greatness. That's what it takes. If you're running a football team, if you're running a travel agency, if you're booking flights, whatever you're doing, if you don't have a great team that works together, you have no shot for great success. So finally, I figured I got a little bit left in my body. I'm trying to squeeze out another year. The pay is pretty good. I get a chance to start with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm 39 years old. Well, that ended when Howie Long fell in the back of my leg and tore my knee out. That ended my career. But the coach there was Marty Schottenheimer. And Marty Schottenheimer was different. In fact, we were talking earlier, Mike, and saying that Marty Schottenheimer is the only coach in the history of the NFL to have won 200 games and not be in the Hall of Fame. So all those coaches I played for, almost 1,000 wins. Marty's got 200 of them not in the Hall of Fame. So I played for great coaches. But Marty was different. You know, I was used to a lot of we all think of football as tough, nasty, and it is. Snot knocker football, you know. I'm hearing coaches, we got to go out there, run through the door, knock them out, bend their face masks, puncture their lung, break their jaw. That's football talk, right? That's football talk. And you get that. You get that. You hear the stuff on NFL films when they have players wired and they're talking. You get that toughness and all that. But Marty Schottenheimer was different. And day one of training camp, I'll never forget his speech. Imagine about 90 players in the room. Their first opportunity to make a football team. Marty's the coach. Everyone's sitting there, coaches are in the room, listening to Marty Schottenheimer. He walks in. I'm used to guys fire and brimstone speeches, getting all riled up. Marty up there. Well, this season, guys, we're gonna really. I think we got a good roster, and we're all going. You know? And Marty would always start his meetings out by speaking very low, so forcing you to listen hard to him. He'd force you to just pay attention to what he was saying. Then he'd get into a normal kind of voice. So he was always very calm and very quiet. But inevitably, the word trust came to mind all the time. The word trust, every meeting, every day, the word trust. Somewhere in the meeting time frame, he would get the word trust out. That we have to trust each other. We've all been there with that. You know, with signing a big deal, and you work together as 5 people and maybe make that big deal, and you got to hope you as a leader of that group trying to get that deal done. You got to trust that they dotted the I's, crossed the T's, did all the things that are necessary. There comes that crunch time when you got to trust the people you line up and play with. Trust the people you work with every single day so everyone is successful. Well, I had that moment. I'm the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're playing the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. It is 3rd down, 4 yards to go on the 4-yard line, going in. We are down by 5 points. A few seconds left on the clock. Game over after this play. Okay, it's football. Hey, make a play. Got to make a play to win. It is the Seattle Kingdom. It is loud. It is noisy. I'm standing in the huddle, and I look to the side, and I get the play. My ears are boom, 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 boom. My head's boom. I couldn't hear myself think it was so loud. That's how it was. But I knew we had one play was going to determine if we win or lose the game. And as crazy as the atmosphere was, with fans screaming and yelling, the word trust came to my mind. From Marty Schottenheimer, we're talking about trust. This was it. This was that crunch time where you're going to get the deal or not get the deal. It's crunch time. This is where you got to trust everyone that was involved in making the deal and getting to that point. Same thing in football. I now look to the sideline. Here comes Christian Okoye. For some of you old-time football fans, Christian Okoye's nickname was the Nigerian Nightmare. 6'6", 265-pound fullback. You want to tackle him? Hell no. Hell no. So here comes Christian running in low. Man, big Christian. Oh, he comes sprinting on the sideline. Jaws. Play pass 47, Y corner. Okay, decoy. We're sending Christian in with a fake into the line. I'm going to throw a pass. That's the play call from Marty Schottenheimer on the sideline. Amongst all this noise and pandemonium, all of a sudden a calm came over me. Everything was very calm. I was very quiet. I couldn't hear anything. I was focused. And I had that trust in my teammates because I know the Seahawks are going to blitz. It's the last play of the game. They're bringing the house. I know my center, Mike Webster's got to pull after that fake and get to the outside. I know Christian Okoye, after I fake that ball, he hits up inside, he's got to get that middle linebacker. I got to trust my tight end, Jonathan Hayes, is going to get an inside release and meet me at the pylon. So I'm going to throw the nice little touchdown pass like it's a butterfly with broken legs, nice and soft, right in his hands. I'm going to hit this one, right? It's calm. It's surreal. I go, right? Play pass 47, Y corner. It's always on 2. Hut. That's 2. Hut, snap the ball. Put the ball out to Christian Okoye. Oh, man, they thought Christian's getting the ball. They all smashed the line of scrimmage. Nope, I pull it back out. Mike Webster pulls. He gets the linebacker on the outside. Christian gets the linebacker on the inside. Jonathan Hayes gets an inside release and goes to the corner. Touchdown. We win the game, right? We win the game. And I think of that all the time. I think of it all the time dealing with my business, my people. I got to trust you. I'm not there every minute, every day. I've got to trust you, just like I had to trust all my teammates. They lifted all the weights they were supposed to lift. Ran all the miles they had to run that week. Because at the end of the game, you had to be the better team conditioned. You had to be the best team you could possibly be at that critical moment, and we were. And we all trusted each other. So trust is very, very important in the football world, but just as important in running your business. Surround yourself with people you can trust, and that's the same motivation that you have. Now, that's 17 years of football. So lo and behold, I get this great gig at ESPN, man. I'm 28 years at ESPN. You saw my face way too often, probably. I think I've done every show ESPN's ever had. I've done them all. Monday Night Football was absolutely the best. It was 90 hours a week work, but it was the best. And I loved every minute of it. But it gave me an opportunity to spend time with more coaches and really pick their brain. Because, when you're calling a game, you don't show up on Monday night and do the game. You show up on Friday. You go to practice on Saturday. You meet with players and coaches. You watch practice. The visiting team comes in on Sunday. You go to their practice, meet with the coaches. You get a lot of information. You talk to coaches in a much more informal situation, a format that I love, just coaches want to talk. And obviously you play the game on Monday night. But I learned so much from those coaches, having those conversations, all great coaches. And I'll mention a few of them. Because what I came up with, keys to success. No-brainer principles. I was number 7, so I came up with 7 of them. Very creative guy. I said no-brainers, all right? And when I go through these, you're probably going to go, duh, really, Jaws? But when you think about them, I picked these up from some of the greatest leaders in all of sports. Maybe greatest leaders in all you can find is football coaches. No-brainer number 1. No-brainer principle on Jaws is top 7. I sound like a disc jockey here. You must like people. Duh. Think about it. You must like people. Really? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I know you've heard that before, but think about it. I don't care how smart you are, but once they know you care about them, you got them. You got them. You know the coach that taught me that? He won the Super Bowl this year, by the way, unfortunately. Andy Reid. I love Andy. He's a great coach here in Philly. It's sorry it ended, but hey, he's a tremendous guy, tremendous person. But that's what he created. He really created that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And Andy really cared about his players. No-brainer principle, right? Duh. Boy, Jaws, really enlightening. Number 2, lead by example. Really? Lead by example. Albert Einstein. He was a pretty smart guy, wasn't he? That's what he always said. Lead by example. My coach for that slot is Herman Edwards, who I played with for 9 years here in Philadelphia. He was a defensive back, so I was a quarterback. I challenged him every single day. He challenged me every single day. He's back on ESPN after being a head coach with the Jets, the Chiefs, Arizona State. And you see, I still hear his voice in the morning. Ronnie J, when Ronnie J did this. He had a little squeaky little voice, and that's Herm. And I love him, man. He's my dear friend. You got to Ronnie J, you got to do this, got to do that. So I'm with Herm. He's coaching the New York Jets. I go, they're playing on a Monday night game. I meet with Herm. I'm sitting in his office. And behind him, as we're talking, he's got pictures and photos of the kids, blah, 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 like we all do in our office. But right in the middle of all these photos is a broom. A broom, right? So I've known Herm probably 20 years at the time. Played against him for 9 years at practice every day. So finally, after we're into the conversation, I said, hey, Herm, what the hell's with the broom hanging on the wall? Oh, Ronnie J, I got to tell you about that broom. Yeah. I guess I'm getting a Herman Edwards story now, right? I hear about the broom. So I said, Herm, okay, what is it? He said, well, I grew up in Fort Ord, California. My dad was in the military. I said, yeah? He goes, so one day I'm out in the front yard with the boys. We're playing some ball, and my dad comes out in the front and says, Herm, sweep the patio. Get the broom and sweep the patio. Herm runs in the garage, gets the broom, sweeps the patio. Real quick job. He runs back out, goes out in front, playing with the kids, the boys, playing ball again. 10 minutes later, Dan comes out front and says, Herm, get back here. Get the broom. Takes him back there. Now, this is Fort Ord. It's 10 foot by 10 foot concrete with a fence around it. That's it. That's the backyard. He goes, Dad, I swept the, look, it's good, it's clean. He goes, no. You didn't sweep the corners. You didn't do the little things. That was the example. If you want to be successful, you do the little things. You thought you swept the patio. You didn't sweep the patio. All those leaves were in the corners. You didn't sweep the corners. Do the little things. That's what separates you from being great and being mediocre. That's what I learned from Herman Edwards. No-brainer principle number 2. Number 3, create an atmosphere where people really enjoy working together. Man, isn't that about leadership? Isn't that what you do? I hate people that walk in the office like this. And we all know there's people. We all have this. I want the people that come and go, hey, Ronnie J, what's going on today, baby? Let's go. Let's make it happen today. Create an atmosphere where people enjoy working together. And I'll give you a real-life story from me personally. The first country club that I purchased back in 1984, I closed the deal at 1 o'clock at night with the bank. It was in bankruptcy, being run by the bank. I walk in the office, first thing, and the secretary is sitting at her desk. Very nice lady. I said, Karen, how you doing? I'm Ron Jaworski. We just bought the club. We're happy to have you with us. We're keeping everyone. The staff's going to say. She looked at me like, okay. Yeah, okay. I just answered the phone, and I just passed people along. So I was relentless. I mean, I was freaking relentless. This became a project with me. Karen, every day I'd come in. Got anything today? You got anything today? Got anything? What can I do to improve the operation? Tell me some things I don't know. Nothing for a month. Finally, after about a month, I come in. Karen, what's up? Anything good? Got anything for me today? Mr. Jaworski, I got something for you. This phone system really sucks. We need a new phone system here. There's a lot of the technology I've been researching. I went, man, I got her. I got her. I had now empowered her. She was important. She wasn't the secretary going, passing phone numbers. She was important. That's why you have to empower people, create that atmosphere where people enjoy working together. She was with me until I sold the club. It was awesome, but that's what you got to do. Just give people the opportunity. It's amazing what you can get out. Create that atmosphere where people enjoy working together and love coming to work, and you empower them to help you make decisions. Karen's still one of my favorites. Be sincere, number 4. Be honest. I have found, for me, that was sometimes hard to do because I always saw the glass half full. But sometimes you learn. I've learned this as time went on. Sometimes you've got to be really honest with people. The last thing I want to do is fire someone. And I know I've made mistakes in firing people because I waited too long to tell them they weren't performing. I think I've saved a lot of careers, as many as maybe I have some people I've had to fire because they didn't perform. And I've learned, if you be honest with people, if they're not doing the job to your standards or the company standards, let them know. Let them know they're not doing, here it is. You got a job description? Here's what you got to do, your job description. You do that job description, you got a job for life. Follow that job description. But sometimes I thought I reacted too early and let some people go that I wish I had given them a better opportunity. There were people that should have been fired that were fired. There were people I did fire that shouldn't have been fired because I should have given them another opportunity. And that was on me. And I just think you got to be honest with people, be sincere with people, and be truthful with people. And you could save a lot of careers rather than losing someone. So always be sincere, be honest. I learned that from Tom Coughlin, head coach of the New York Giants. I know the Giant fans are happy they got their mention now. New York Giant fans. But Tom Coughlin won 2 Super Bowls. He was our wide receiver coach for me in Philadelphia in the early 80s. I knew what a classy, perfect guy he was to learn things from. And being honest and being sincere was one of his backbone theories. Treat people with great respect and great dignity. Be sincere and be honest. Sometimes hard to do, but I think at the end of the day, you're better off taking that route. Number 6. Oh, wait, I passed one. Bring 5, thank you. Oh, someone's writing them down. Bring energy to the workplace. This one is, I've met a lot of coaches with great energy. Like I said, I come to work like I'm a crazy man. That's just let's go, let's get it done, let's find a way. That's my football mentality. Bring that energy. Pete Carroll is my age. Head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Pete's like a 19-year-old kid running around the sideline. I love Pete Carroll. I talk to Pete Carroll once every few weeks during the NFL season, and I always learn something. Always learn something. But he has that great energy, that passion, that enthusiasm for his job. I think you have to have that. And I love guys that perform that way, ladies that perform that way, that bring that energy every single day to the workplace because it ignites everyone. It ignites everyone. You bring energy. Like I said, talk about some people. They walk in the office like this. What the hell? I had people like that. I let them know how I felt. Bring some energy. Whatever you got to do in the morning, get it ready. Come in here because we got to go to work. And we're going to work long. We're going to work hard. Bring energy to the workplace. This other one, number 6, is kind of an interesting one. I've had discussions with people about this. It's about relationships. Really, a business life is about relationships. Build those relationships before you need them. I'm looking, my phone is here somewhere. Hey, these are nice. They're perfect. We love them. But there's a time to turn them off. There's a time to talk to people. How you doing, my friend?
Great.
What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, good to see you.
Nice
What do you
to
do?
meet I work for Waters Corporation.
All right.
Their Concur program.
Where do you live?
South of Boston.
Oh, we got a Patriot fan here. I got some Belichick stories I can tell too. Okay. How are you, ma'am?
Good.
What's your name?
Monica Lawrence.
Monica, good to see you. Where are you from?
I work for World Travel,
Oh.
and I live just outside of Philadelphia.
Okay, we got Philly and Boston here, you know. Yeah. Did you tell them that we beat them, Super Bowl? I just think interaction is so important. Getting to know people and talk to people. Especially in today's world where mental health is so important. You can't see someone's face on a phone. You can't see it on a text message or an email. How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah.
Where are you going home to?
Right outside of Philly, but you should know I'm a Lions fan.
See, but I still love you. You know, you're one of the. I think there are two teams that haven't been to the Super Bowl yet.
Correct.
Yeah, you're one of them. But good. Yeah. All right, but good luck. You got to find out about people. How are you, sir?
Good.
You awesome? How can you not be awesome? I'm almost done. So you can get a beer. You can get a beer. You can go play 9 holes of golf. You got here quick enough, right? Yeah. Ah, there's my guy. He's sucking up to me now. He's going to one of my courses. But I think interaction is so important to get to know people, look in their eyes. You can't see what's on their mind. You don't know. Not that I want to know your problems, but it's just good to see people smile. Then you know. I get a lot of people tell me my problems and their problems by the end of the day. But as much as the phones and computers and all that are important to us, I think personal interaction is absolutely critical to success as a company and as a person. And the person that I'm going to allude to, I will not name his name, got fired. Got fired. Because he would sit in his office, go on his computer, and communicate with his defensive coordinator via technology. He would sit in his office. The offense coordinator was down the hall, and he'd communicate that way. Special teams coach was downstairs. Send it out. Man, that's not right. No communication. There is communication, but no personal interaction. That coach got fired because they kept losing because he never built the team. What was so important in building those relationships with coaches, and that obviously filtered to the players. So it's important that technology is a major part of what we do. I get it, but personal action, I think, tops that. Build relationships. Last but not least, number 7. This is my guy, Dick Vermeil. Define, delegate, and lead. I'm covering the Rams for ESPN the year they win the Super Bowl. I go to training camp day 1 when no one even thought the Rams were going to win the Super Bowl. They weren't a very good football team. They were okay. So I have a lot of friends in that Rams team, from Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Kurt Warner. So I get in late the night of training camp opens, get in the hotel. Next morning, I get out to practice. After practice, I have lunch with Kurt Warner, Ike, and the guys that I know. So I sit down with them and say, guys, how'd the meeting go last night? Jaws, it was freaking unbelievable. Whoa. You had the team meeting, you know? No, it was unbelievable. Coach was spot on. He was great. He was amazing. I said, I played for him for 9 years. He coached the running backs in L.A. for a year when I was there as a Rams quarterback. So I've been around coach for 10 years. I know how great he is. I know. No. Kurt says, this was vintage at Dick Vermeil. I said, what do you mean? What happened? He goes, well, Coach came in, and I'll pull up my wallet here a second. I'm not paying you guys. But he pulled out his wallet, and he had a picture, Kurt Warner, in his wallet. I said, well, yeah. He goes, Vince Lombardi Trophy. Vince Lombardi Trophy. Gave every single player. And in that meeting, he not only brought the players in, or the coaches, or the assistant coaches, or the front office, brought in everybody. The trainers, the janitorial staff, the ticket people, every person associated with the Rams organization was in that meeting. Sat there when Dick Vermeil went and pulled those pictures out, gave every single person in that room a picture of the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And as we all know, if you're a professional football player, anyone involved with an organization at a professional level like that, everyone knows you want to win the Vince Lombardi Trophy. That is supremacy. That is the best. That is greatness. That's breaking all your sales records, wins records, you name it. It's the Vince Lombardi Trophy. So what Dick Vermeil did at that meeting, that night, why Kurt Warner and those players were so excited, he defined the goal. He didn't get up in front of him and go, hey, we could go 8-8 this year. Yeah. Or, hey, we're pretty good. If things go our way, we get a couple interceptions and cover a couple, we can win 9. No, he set the bar high. He made it crystal clear. There was enough talent in that room to win the world championship. It was that picture. It defined it for every single person in that organization. Their goal was to be the very, very best. Not second best, the best. They won the world championship after that speech that year. So what Dick Vermeil did, and then you do it as leaders, you define the goal, delegate responsibility, and lead, and make people accountable. And you know what? If you do that, you will have a championship season. Thank you, everyone, for paying attention, having some fun with me today. It's great to be with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Go Birds!
Go Birds!
Thank you, guys. You're awesome.